Good day, guys. Welcome to a new update. Today it's Altcoin Sunday, so we can actually discuss some altcoins that we have been discussing in the previous two editions of Altcoin Sunday. So this is a slight update video and some general points of view. As obviously the momentum is there in Chainlink right now on Band Protocol. So we're going to discuss this first. But before we start, if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel or like beneath. That's helping me a lot. And also check out my Instagram page as we're starting up there as well. The journey is just getting started. Then, regarding the markets, Chainlink is showing a massive move. And as you can see, we're currently showing a retrace. Yes, we are seeing a retrace. The general point of view, and I keep on saying it over and over and over again. If something is moving fast, the momentum and social media engagement is increasing. But if you know me and you follow me through my charts, I would never be advocating to buy Chainlink here. No matter how great a project is. I'm also not going to advocate to buy Tesla above $1,500. It's just not the right way to start trading or start investing, because if you were watching Chainlink at $4 and you didn't get any interest in it, and you see Chainlink at $18 and you get interest in it, it's because of your emotions. And understanding, analyzing and reviewing your emotions is step one. Then you can adapt towards a plan, and then you can start trading. Then you can evaluate what you're doing and move on from there. So if we define levels for Chainlink, for instance, you can actually see it. You can actually just use it through the time frames. Weekly, essentially, we only have a level here. Daily time frame, we do have levels at $16, which essentially is the level that must hold if we want to sustain bullish momentum. Then the level is around $12.90, and then we've got one at $10.40. 4 hour time frame, we can actually see that we are retracing here. We're seeing some bearish divergence, so it might be indicational that we are reversing a little bit here, which is very healthy for something that's been running severely like Chainlink. Similar view, flipped $18.20 for support. Getting there again, it seems unlikely that we're going to hold, and then we're going to look for the area we have been pointing at here. So the coins we have been discussing previously were coins that did not move too much yet, and they did move actually after the video. First one I'm going to discuss is Sealer, and then we're going to discuss Harmony and Troy. Sealer essentially started to move heavily, given that we held the level previously and we have a construction that we are above the 100-day and 200-day MA, which is an indication that we are in bull territory. So we held the 50 sets level, flipped the 64 level, ran upwards to resistance zone as we marked here previously, and rejected there, flipped the previous high for support and made another wave up. So in this case we are still running up, but we are not accelerating yet, which means that we're just hopping levels, and acceleration is that we get a vertical candle. So in this case we have seen that we are at resistance. I'll just use the regular one. We are at resistance right now. We are inside the range, through which the range low is the area between 80 to 84 sets. Level that must hold essentially is this zone, but we might get a similar construction like we have seen before, in which we wick a little bit further down. But essentially you don't want to see a daily close below 87, 88. So getting some construction like this is pretty much fine. If we break through 118, then we have marked the levels already, and the first one is 206, and then essentially we can run towards 268 and towards 300. So this one is still heating up. We are on above the 100-day and 200-day MA for the first time since it's got listed, so I think there's much more to come from Sealer, and that's also the case for one. So you can already see that coins that have been moving severely, like Chainlink and Band Protocol, or like Telor or any other coin that's been moving heavy, You can trade them, but the strategy is a little bit different, as many other coins are still inside that accumulation range. So for instance, Harmony, exactly the same figure. We had to hold the level, we did, and now we ran towards the range high, which we tested. And essentially it's a little bit more messy, the chart with the wicks. Essentially you don't want to see it drop below 85 to 90 sets. That's just what you don't want to see. So if we get a drop down and some accumulation like this, it's pretty much fine, as we are still just leveling up. If we break through this level, we can get an expansion to a 186, and then we get to start to see acceleration, as usually things go just like this and then starts to accelerate, and then you don't get these beautiful pushbacks or pullbacks anymore. It skips levels, and that's the point where you see the acceleration and where you should be considering to close your position, as in this case we just tested every previous level. So Harmony, area to watch around 90 sets if we get there. If we break through, probably the support resistance flip of this previous high is what you want to achieve, but it's doing really well. Then Troy, essentially waking up. I'll just erase this. We have been saying, okay, we have to hold this level, the previous resistance at 47, we did, high low, breakout, and not even testing the level, so it got front ran. Essentially what you don't want to lose is the level between 54 to 57, that has to hold. We can have some construction, compression, and then the next break should most likely bring us towards the next resistance zone, which essentially can be defined through Fibonacci levels, and then you get towards the exact same level as we see here, which is 108 sets and then 146. And then you get the acceleration as well, as we've just discussed. So that's about it. Another one I'm interested in buying the dips is Mana Decentraland. On the daily time frame you see that you don't really have any levels after such a pump. If you check the 4-hour time frame, you can already start defining some of these levels. One we have tested, one is untested, and another one is untested. So these are the levels you're looking for if you want to take a trade on Mana. And if it doesn't come there, okay, terrible, look for a new entry, look for a new trade. So in this case we tested the 750 level, ran upwards towards the resistance zone, which is the 8900 level, came all the way back to test the previous level for support, and ran back up towards the resistance, and now we are making lower highs. Lower highs, and essentially most likely expected after such a test of this level already, is that once we get towards the support again, we most likely fall through, and then you're going to look for these two zones, which essentially is also coming down to the level we have defined previously on the daily time frame, which essentially is this zone. So if we get there, I'll be a happy buyer of the dip, and then I'm pointing at targeting the 1800 set zone. Then we've also charted Algorand previously, essentially the same view. You see it quite many times, is that altcoin breaks up, makes a new higher high since like 6 months, comes all the way back down to test support, and then starts ready to make a new higher high. So in this case, if you check the daily time frame, if we come back down towards the area around 4100 sets, this is the zone you want to get the new one, as after this higher low and the confirmation of these 100-day and 200-day MAs, the next high should most likely bring us towards an even further rally, which in this case could bring us towards 9000 sets, as you can see. I'm not sure if that's also lining up with a level. Yeah, it's lining up with a level. So that's also a 2x. So on the daily time frame you're looking for these levels. On the smaller time frames like the 4-hour, you come back down to the exact same figure, in which this is the main level, and you've got a level here. And then you have coins that are not moving yet at all, or are just lagging behind, making the exact same figure as many other altcoins. One of them is Komodo. Essentially has a range low. We've held that for a long time. We've got compression going on. You essentially don't want to lose the level we see here, which is 570 sets. If we do break up, the level that we're going to test is most likely the level around 935 sets, which is a little bit like the same as Algo with the first push. Then once it gets towards this range high, the next higher low, which essentially should be the retest of 720, is the one you want to get, as that's the first higher low above the 100-day and 200-day MA inside such a construction, inside such an accumulation range. And once it breaks through this accumulation range, the next first main targets are like 1400 and 2000 sats. Alright, small update on the top 5 altcoins. I think they have been doing really well. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel and check out my Instagram, and have a wonderful Sunday.